When a student comes to you complaining that their FM system isn't working, you may not be sure how to test the system because you don't use a hearing aid nor use the FM system. Some students use an FM system with a headset, and other students use it with a neck loop. Testing these two different approaches to the use of an FM system is different. Testing an FM system with a headset is a little bit easier. Testing with a student who is using a neck loop is a little bit more complex. I'll explain each of them. You have an FM system receiver and a transmitter. The transmitter comes with a microphone. The receiver, you will be using the headset. A receiver has a jack for the headset, just like a CD player or an iPod. So with you holding the receiver, give the microphone and the transmitter to another person. Make sure that both components are turned on. Do check the volume as well to make sure that it is adjusted. This will allow you to test the quality of the sound. Have that person speak into the microphone while you test through the headset. You're going to be testing for the sound clarity. If the quality isn't good, then you need to change out the batteries in both the receiver and in the transmitter. You also need to test the system in different rooms. There may be interference with the FM system. This interference may be from other equipment that is in the room. If the sound quality is still not good, it's best that you contact the manufacturer of the FM system to find out about maintenance for the device. So, with the headset, you have tested the receiver and the transmitter, and both seem to be working just fine with the headset. But if you'll recall, we also said that some students will not use headsets, but some of them will use a neck loop. Those students are the students who have a telecoil or a T-coil in their hearing aid or cochlear implant. A student then with a T-coil in their hearing aid or cochlear implant will use an FM loop. It will be connected to the receiver while a speaker is using the microphone with the transmitter. Now, testing this system is more complex. First of all, you need to get an induction receiver. It functions as a neck loop tester. The induction receiver looks just like the FM receiver, but it is very different. The induction receiver will also have a jack for the headset and for the neck loop, with a volume control where the volume can be turned on or off. When you're using the induction receiver, you're using it to test the neck loop. Now, this process for testing the system has many steps. First of all, you need to get the FM receiver and the headset. You also need to have the microphone with the transmitter, and then lastly, the neck loop. Ask another person to work with the transmitter and speak into the microphone while you're testing the system to see if the sound quality is clear. Now, with the FM system receiver, connect the headset to the FM receiver and have the person speak into the microphone to test that system. If it's fine, then unplug the headset from the FM receiver and connect the headset to the induction receiver. Now the neck loop will be connected to the FM receiver. Once you have all the components in place, then you have the FM receiver with the neck loop, and you have the induction receiver with the headset for you to test the system. But move the induction receiver closer to the neck loop. Then ask the person to speak into the microphone. You should be able to hear what is being transmitted into the neck loop through the induction receiver. If all the components seem to be working effectively and the sound is clear, then it may be due to the student's hearing aid or cochlear implant T-coil. It may not be functioning appropriately. If the student has tested their T-coil and it is functioning appropriately, the problem may lie in the neck loop. Inside the neck loop, there are fragile wires that break easily, so do handle it with care. Now, specifically for students with a cochlear implant, you need to consider how to resolve the problem. Ask another student who has a cochlear implant, giving them the same FM system to see if it works for them or not. Or another option is to contact someone who is knowledgeable about cochlear implants and how cochlear implants work with this system. I'd like to strongly emphasize that you check all of the equipment in the room in which the difficulty occurred. Ask all of the people that were involved in the classroom at the time to become involved in the process of testing the system. You should observe how the system was used. For example, it's possible that the speaker may not have been using the microphone correctly. They may have had it too low or too high, and the sound was not transmitted effectively. That's an easy problem to solve. Another problem may simply be the room itself. There may be too much interference. This interference may be coming from other equipment in the room. It possibly could even come from the lighting system in the room. So again, a cautionary note, always test out the equipment in the room in which the malfunction occurred. If you're trying to test the system in your office, it's simply not going to produce the same effect because you're in a different environment than the room in which the malfunction occurred. For additional resources and links related to this topic, please go to our website at the bottom of our Frequently Asked Questions page.